Hello everyone, welcome back to the kitchen table. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Today on the kitchen table, I've been installing a washing machine and you might be able to hear it in the background. Fingers crossed it seems to be working and not leaking everywhere like the old one did, but I'm just procrastinating from doing any of the tidying up now by having a nice cup of coffee, and we're going to talk about drone registration. So cheers. So yes, to those, thank you for. I've had lots of emails from people and saying, where have you been? A bit busy is the answer. Really sorry about that. The day job has been keeping me incredibly busy, doing lots of writing for various clients. I've also been doing a few bits and pieces with in the drone sphere, of course. And one of the most enjoyable things I've been doing in the most recent past is I've been helping a local school run a drone club. And what's quite cool about that is the kids are actually designing. It's part of the design and technology curriculum. They're designing their own little mini quads along these lines, but with 3D printing, and they're also branding up some team names, and they're going to be doing a little bit of a flying competition at the end of it. So I've been sort of helping out with that, which has been fantastic and really good to see young people still enthusiastic about the technology. They're also going to mount little FPV cameras to them, so that'll be quite good fun. But the reason for today's quick video is, as we all know, in the UK, it will be compulsory to register the fact that you operate drones later on this year. And the CAA, the Civil Aviation Authority, has very recently released its consultation document about what that process and the fees for that are going to look like. Very interested to hear what you think about that, but more importantly, go to the link down below and engage in the consultation. Let the CAA know what you think about it. If you have a strong opinion, it's no good everyone kind of, talking about it in a little drone echo chamber if you don't let people know what your thoughts are. So it's going to be a kind of a two-sided system. If you are an operator, in other words, if you're responsible for drones, that's generally going to be you're over 18 and you've got one. If you're like us, then you sign up as an operator, and that's going to cost money to register. If you have kids or you let other people fly your drone, they don't have to pay anything, but they will have to register as a pilot. And then you do your little online test about, how high should you go, where shouldn't you fly, the common sense stuff, and they get a little number. How it's going to blend between the two, you only have to do one of them. If you both own and operate and fly, you only have to do one, but it's a little bit ambiguous. I don't quite know how they're going to do that. I suspect it'll just be there'll be a tick box to say, yes, I both own and operate. But you can see they've done a little infographic, which is it still doesn't quite explain to me, I think, how it's going to separate out, if it's going to separate out. I think more useful if you're like a company and you have a fleet of 10 drones, then there's going to be one person who's going to sign up to be responsible for the fleet, if you like. But within that, there'll be a few people who'll have to sit the competency test. So maybe that's what that's aimed at. We don't know. Again, read the consultation document. Now, one of the things they've got to do is they've got to recoup their costs. The Civil Aviation Authority are not a government agency. They operate on the basis that they've got to cover their costs, and so there's going to be a charge. They are proposing a charge of £16.50, and they've outlined how they've arrived at that. They've done some calculations. They've shown some examples about how that looks for other hobbies. They've shown some weird things like shotgun licenses. Now, there aren't that many of them in the UK compared to other things, but there you go. But they've also shown driving licenses and fishing. I didn't realise you had to pay to go fishing. I'm very naive. I know fishing is the UK's #1 pastime, apparently, but I didn't realise you had to pay 30 odd quid a year to do that. The CAA's proposal to cover all the costs initially is going to be £16 per annum. Now, there's been a lot of chatter about that. I've seen lots of commentary about the cost and the way the whole thing is going to operate. But I think the important thing is that you need to respond to the consultation, because it's like anything else. If you want to get your voice heard, make sure it's heard in the right places. So there we go. That's the important thing. read the document and let us know what you think. The bottom line is there's no money from the government for this. They've said, right, okay, this is what's going to happen. You're going to administer it, Civil Aviation Authority, and you need to cover your costs. So that's the system we have. So that's the big thing at the moment. As I say, I think the important thing is that people, by all means, let us know what you think down there in the comments, but follow the links that we put in the description and have your say to the CAA. Sorry, that was an unintentional slogan there, wasn't it? It rhymed. Yeah, let's see where we get with this. So until the next time, hopefully not such a long gap. We'll have more news for you maybe on other things. But until then, have a fantastic day. Hopefully the weather is now turning. We can all get some more flying in. Till then, cheers.